I want everyone to meet my wife. She's expecting my daughter. Something my ex could never give me, Jared declared at the college reunion. The once lively hall was suddenly filled with uncomfortable whispers. That was when the gym's massive doors swung open. The light from the hallway illuminated the entrance, revealing his ex, Lexi, dressed in the university colors. Beside her, 4 identical black girls, all wearing the same brilliant smile, walked in perfect formation, sporting mini-alumni t-shirts. The buzzing noise dissolved into absolute silence. Jared's pride began to melt right then and there. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Do we really have to go tonight? Amanda sat on the edge of their bed. Her hand rested on her round belly. She looked tired. Her blue dress lay beside her. She had not put it on yet. Jared stood in front of the bathroom mirror. He adjusted his silk tie. He checked his hair one more time. He smiled at his reflection. Tonight was important. Tonight everyone would see how good his life was now. Yes, we have to go, Jared said. He walked out of the bathroom. He looked at Amanda. This is my 20-year reunion. People need to see us. They need to see how well we are doing. Amanda sighed. She picked up her dress. I just feel heavy. My feet hurt. I don't know anyone from your college. Jared walked over to her. He kissed the top of her head. You will be fine. Just smile and stand next to me. Everyone will love you. They will love the baby too. Amanda stood up slowly. She put on her dress. Jared helped her zip it up. The dress fit tight around her belly. She was 6 months pregnant. Their daughter would arrive in 3 months. They decided to name her Charlotte. Jared looked at himself in the mirror one more time. He wore a dark gray suit. His shoes were polished. His watch was expensive. He worked hard for 6 years to get here. After his divorce from Lexi, people whispered about him. They asked questions. They felt sorry for him. But not anymore. Now he had Amanda. Now he had a baby on the way. Now he was winning. They left their apartment in Back Bay at 6:30 in the evening. Jared opened the car door for Amanda. She climbed into his black Mercedes carefully. He closed the door and walked around to the driver's side. He started the engine. The car purred softly. This car still smells new, Amanda said. I bought it 4 months ago, Jared said. He smiled. I wanted to look good tonight. They drove through the streets of downtown Boston. The city was busy. Cars honked. People crossed the streets. Lights glowed in the windows of tall buildings. Jared felt good. He felt powerful. He turned onto Boylston Street. Tell me again who will be there, Amanda said. Everyone from my class at Boston University, Jared said. My fraternity brothers, my old roommates, some professors maybe, about 200 people total. That is a lot of people, Amanda said quietly. I know, Jared said. He glanced at her. But do not worry. Just stay close to me. I will introduce you to everyone. They will be so happy for us. They arrived at the Fairmont Hotel at 7 o'clock. Jared handed his keys to the valet. He walked around the car and helped Amanda out. She took his hand. They walked through the gold lobby together. Jared held his head high. He wanted everyone to see them. He wanted everyone to notice. A tall man with gray hair waved at Jared from across the lobby. It was Steve Parker. Steve was Jared's best man at his first wedding. They were fraternity brothers. They played lacrosse together in college. Jared! Steve walked over with a big smile. He shook Jared's hand firmly. Man, it has been too long. I know, Jared said. He grinned. Steve, this is my wife Amanda. Amanda, this is Steve. Steve shook Amanda's hand gently. He looked at her belly. Congratulations. When are you due? 3 months, Amanda said. She smiled politely. That is wonderful, Steve said. He looked at Jared. A baby? That is great news, man. How have you been since, the divorce? Jared's smile did not move. I am better than ever. Really. Things are good now. "That is good to hear," Steve said. He paused. "I always wondered what happened with you and Lexi. You two seemed solid in college." Jared shrugged. He did not want to talk about Lexi. Not tonight. "We wanted different things. It did not work out. But everything happens for a reason, right?" Steve nodded slowly. "Yeah, I guess so." Amanda tugged on Jared's arm gently. "Should we go inside?" "Yes," Jared said. He patted Steve on the shoulder. "We will catch up more inside." They walked into the ballroom. It was big and bright. Round tables filled the room. White tablecloths covered each table. Flowers sat in the center. A stage stood at the front with a microphone. Music played softly from speakers. People stood in groups talking and laughing. Jared recognized many faces. He waved at a few people. They waved back. Jared and Amanda found their table. It was near the middle of the room. 6 other people sat there already. They were all from Jared's graduating class. Jared shook hands with the men. He hugged the women. He introduced Amanda to everyone. They congratulated him on the baby. Amanda smiled and thanked them. A server came by with wine. Jared took a glass of red wine. Amanda asked for water. Jared drank half the glass quickly. He felt good. He felt relaxed. He looked around the room. 200 people. 200 witnesses to his success. A woman walked onto the stage. She wore a black dress and held a microphone. Her name was Patricia Hayes. She organized the reunion. She was part of the alumni board. "Good evening, everyone," Patricia said into the microphone. Her voice echoed through the ballroom. "Welcome to the 20-year reunion for the Boston University class of 2003. We are so happy you are all here tonight." Everyone clapped. Jared clapped too. He finished his first glass of wine. He reached for a second glass from a passing server. Dinner was served. Jared ate quickly. He talked loudly. He told a story about a real estate deal he closed last month. It was worth $2 million. The people at his table listened. Some looked impressed, some looked bored. Jared did not notice. He kept talking. He drank his second glass of wine. Amanda leaned close to him. She whispered in his ear, "I am really tired. Can we leave after dinner?" Jared barely looked at her. "No, we just got here. We are staying." Amanda frowned. She sat back in her chair. She did not say anything else. Jared poured himself a third glass of wine. The bottle sat in the middle of the table. He felt warm. He felt confident. He looked around the room again. He saw old friends laughing. He saw people dancing near the stage. He wanted to do something big. He wanted to make an announcement. He wanted everyone to know about Charlotte. He wanted everyone to know how happy he was now. He wanted them to see that he moved on. He wanted them to forget about Lexi. Amanda touched his arm. "Jared, maybe we should just enjoy the night quietly." Jared did not listen. He suddenly stood up. His chair scraped against the floor. He grabbed a fork. He tapped it against his wine glass. The sound rang out clear and sharp. Ting, ting, ting. People at nearby tables stopped talking. They looked at Jared. He kept tapping the glass. More people turned. The music got quieter. Conversations stopped. Soon the entire ballroom was looking at him. 200 pairs of eyes. 200 faces. Patricia Hayes looked over from the stage. She looked confused but smiled politely. Jared cleared his throat. He held his wine glass high. His heart beat fast. His face felt hot, but he smiled wide. This was his moment. The room falls silent, and 200 pairs of eyes turn toward Jared as he clears his throat and begins to speak words he can never take back. "Thank you all for being here tonight," Jared said. His voice echoed through the ballroom. He held his wine glass high. He felt powerful. He felt important. "It is so good to see all of your faces again. Boston University gave us the best years of our lives." A few people clapped. Others just watched. Jared took a deep breath. He looked at Amanda. She was looking down at the table. Her face was red. "I have some wonderful news to share with everyone," Jared continued. His voice got louder. "My wife Amanda and I are having a baby, a daughter. We are going to name her Charlotte." The room clapped. It was polite. Some people smiled. A woman at the next table said congratulations. A man raised his glass. Amanda lifted her head slightly. She gave a small smile. She hoped Jared would sit down now. But Jared did not sit down. "This baby means everything to me," Jared said. He paused. He took a sip of wine. "You see, this pregnancy is really special. It is a miracle, actually." Steve Parker leaned forward at his table. He looked concerned. His wife touched his arm. "My first wife, Lexi, could not give me children," Jared said. The clapping stopped. The room became very quiet. People looked at each other. Some faces showed confusion. Some showed shock. Amanda's head snapped up. She stared at Jared. Her mouth opened slightly. She reached for his sleeve. "Jared," she whispered, "stop, please." Jared did not hear her. Or maybe he did not care. He kept talking. "Lexi and I tried for 8 years, Jared said. He shook his head like he was sad. 8 long years. We went to doctors. We did tests, but her body just could not get pregnant. Nothing worked. It was hard for me. I always wanted to be a father. I waited and waited, but it never happened with her." A woman near the front covered her mouth with her hand. A man at the back table shook his head slowly. Steve Parker put his face in his hands. Amanda tugged harder on Jared's sleeve. "Jared, sit down, please." Jared pulled his arm away gently. He smiled at the crowd. He did not see the discomfort on their faces. He only saw his audience. "But now," Jared said. His voice was loud and clear. "Now I am with Amanda, and everything is different. She got pregnant right away. No problems, no waiting. It just happened naturally. I finally get to be a dad. I finally get the family I always wanted. I finally found the right woman." He raised his glass toward Amanda. Amanda, to Charlotte, to my real family." Nobody raised their glasses. Nobody clapped. The silence was thick and heavy. People stared at Jared. Some looked angry. Some looked disgusted. Some looked embarrassed for him. Amanda's eyes filled with tears. Her face burned red. She stood up quickly. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor. Everyone turned to look at her. "I need to use the restroom," Amanda said quietly. Her voice shook. She grabbed her purse from the table. Jared finally noticed something was wrong. He reached for her hand. "Amanda, are you okay?" She pulled her hand away. She did not look at him. She walked quickly toward the side exit. Her heels clicked on the floor. People watched her leave. Jared stood there holding his wine glass. He looked confused. He looked around the room. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was clapping. The faces looking back at him were cold. Patricia Hayes walked quickly to the microphone. She smiled, but her eyes looked worried. "Thank you, Jared, for sharing that with us. Let us all enjoy our dinner now." Jared sat down slowly. The people at his table did not look at him. One woman whispered something to the man next to her. Another man took a long drink of his wine and looked away. Steve Parker was sitting 3 tables away. He leaned over to his wife. "I cannot believe he just did that," Steve said. His voice was low, but people nearby could hear. "That was cruel. Why would he say that about Lexi in front of everyone?" His wife nodded. "I always liked Lexi. She was so sweet. I never understood why they divorced." At Jared's table, a woman named Carol spoke up. She was in Lexi's sorority in college. "Where is Lexi now? Does anyone know?" A man named Tim answered. "I think she moved to Rhode Island after the divorce. Providence, maybe. I am not sure." Carol shook her head. "Poor woman. Imagine hearing that your ex-husband is telling 200 people you could not have children. That is private. That is cruel." Jared heard them. His stomach felt tight. He drank more wine. He tried to think of something to say, but no words came. Suddenly, the large ballroom doors at the back swung open. They opened wide and fast. Bright light from the hallway poured into the room. Everyone turned to look. A woman stood in the doorway. She wore a crimson blouse and white pants, the colors of Boston University. Her hair was pulled back. Her face was calm. She was beautiful. It was Lexi. Behind her stood 4 young girls. They were identical, completely identical. They all had the same face, the same hair, the same height. They wore matching Boston University alumni t-shirts. They held hands in a straight line. The ballroom went completely silent. Not a single person spoke. Not a single fork touched a plate. Everyone stared. Jared's face went white. All the blood drained from his cheeks. His hands started to shake. The wine glass trembled in his fingers. He stared at Lexi. He stared at the 4 girls. His brain could not process what he was seeing. "No," he whispered. "No, this cannot be real." The wine glass slipped from his hand. It fell to the table first, then rolled off the edge. It hit the floor and shattered into pieces. Red wine splashed across the white tablecloth. It dripped onto Jared's expensive shoes. He did not move. He just stared. Lexi walked into the ballroom. She walked slowly and calmly. Her daughters followed close behind her. They still held hands. They looked around the room with curious eyes. They were not scared. They were not shy. They walked with confidence. People began to whisper. The whispers grew louder. "Is that Lexi? Who are those girls? Are they hers? They look exactly the same. Are those quadruplets? But Jared just said she could not have kids. He said she could not get pregnant. Then who are those girls?" Patricia Hayes stood frozen near the stage. Her mouth hung open. She did not know what to do. Lexi walked past several tables. She smiled at people she recognized. An older man with glasses stood up. He walked over to her. His name was Professor Donald Green. He taught literature when Lexi was in college. "Lexi Thompson," Professor Green said. His face lit up. "Is that really you?" "It is Lexi Williams now," Lexi said warmly. "But yes, it is me. It is good to see you, Professor Green." Professor Green hugged her gently. Then he looked down at the 4 girls. "And who are these beautiful young ladies?" "These are my daughters," Lexi said. Her voice was clear and proud. "This is Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan. They are 8 years old. They are quadruplets." Professor Green's eyes went wide. He looked at the girls. Then he looked at Lexi. Then he slowly turned his head and looked across the room at Jared. Everyone else did the same. 200 people turned their heads. 200 people looked at Jared Coleman sitting at his table. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. Broken glass lay at his feet. Red wine stained his shirt. Patricia Hayes finally moved. She rushed over to Lexi. Patricia's heels clicked loudly on the floor. Everyone watched her. "Lexi," Patricia said. She sounded nervous but tried to smile. "This is a surprise. We did not know you were coming tonight." "I registered last week," Lexi said calmly. "I brought my daughters. They wanted to see where their mother went to college. They wanted to wear the school colors." Patricia looked down at the 4 girls. She looked at their identical faces. She looked at their matching shirts. Her hand went to her chest. "They are quadruplets?" Patricia asked. "Yes," Lexi said. "Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan. Born 8 years ago, February 14th, Valentine's Day." Patricia's mouth opened and closed. She looked like she wanted to say something but could not find the words. She turned her head slowly. She looked directly at Jared. Everyone in the ballroom looked at Jared. Steve Parker stood up from his table. He stared at Jared with wide eyes. His wife grabbed his arm. Carol, the woman from Lexi's sorority, put her hand over her mouth. Tears formed in her eyes. Tim, the man at Jared's table, leaned back in his chair and crossed his arms. He looked at Jared with disgust. The whispers grew louder and louder. Jared said she could not have children. He said she was the problem. He just told everyone that 5 minutes ago. But she has 4 daughters. 4 identical daughters. He lied. He lied to everyone. Lexi stood in the center of the ballroom. Her daughters stood close beside her. She had not looked at Jared yet. She did not need to. Her presence was enough. The truth was standing right there in front of 200 people. A woman in crimson and white walks through the doors, and behind her, 4 identical young girls step into the ballroom holding hands. Lexi's youngest daughter, Morgan, squeezed her mother's hand. She looked up at Lexi with wide eyes. "Mama, everyone is staring at us." Lexi bent down slightly. She spoke softly to Morgan. "I know, sweetheart. It is okay. Just stay close to me." Maya, the oldest by 3 minutes, looked around the ballroom. She saw the decorations. She saw the stage. She saw the Boston University banner hanging on the wall. "This is where you went to school, Mom?" "Yes," Lexi said. She smiled at her daughters. "This is where I studied, where I learned, where I met many people." Mia pointed at a woman near the stage. "That lady looks nice. She is smiling at us." Madison, the quietest of the 4, held tight to her sister's hands. She did not say anything. She just stayed close. Professor Green bent down to the girls' level. "You 4 are very special. Do you know that? Quadruplets are rare. You are a miracle." Maya smiled. "Our dad tells us that all the time." "Your dad is very smart," Professor Green said. He stood up and looked at Lexi. "You look well, Lexi. You look happy." "I am," Lexi said simply. "I am very happy." Across the room, Jared finally moved. He stood up from his chair. His legs felt weak. His heart pounded in his chest. He could not breathe properly. He stared at Lexi. He stared at the 4 girls. His mind raced. A man at Jared's table spoke up. His name was David. He worked in finance. "Jared, are those Lexi's kids?" Jared did not answer. His mouth was dry. His hands trembled. Carol, the woman from Lexi's sorority, stood up. She looked at Jared with angry eyes. "You just told everyone she could not have children. You said her body could not get pregnant. You said that 5 minutes ago." "I did not know," Jared whispered. His voice was so quiet, almost no one heard him. "You did not know," Carol repeated. Her voice was louder now. "You did not know your ex-wife had 4 daughters? How is that possible?" Tim, the man sitting next to Carol, shook his head. "Lexi left Boston 6 years ago. Those girls look about 8 years old. That means she had them after the divorce. She had them, and you did not even know." Jared felt like the room was spinning. He grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. Patricia Hayes walked closer to Lexi. She still looked shocked. "Lexi, I am so sorry. I did not know you were coming tonight. If I had known, I would have... "It is okay, Patricia," Lexi said calmly. "You do not need to apologize. I wanted to come. My daughters wanted to see the campus. They wanted to wear the school colors. They are proud of me. I am proud of them." Patricia looked down at the quadruplets again. "What are your names, sweethearts?" "I am Maya," said the first girl. She had small braids in her hair. "I am Mia," said the second girl. She wore a pink headband. "I am Madison," said the third girl. She had a quiet voice. "I am Morgan," said the fourth girl. She had a gap between her front teeth when she smiled. Patricia put her hand on her heart. "You are all so beautiful and so polite." "Thank you," the girls said together. The whispers in the ballroom grew louder and louder. People stopped trying to be quiet. They talked openly now. Jared humiliated her. He blamed her in front of everyone. He said she was the problem. But look at her. She has 4 healthy daughters. He lied. He lied to all of us. A woman with short blonde hair walked over to Lexi. Her name was Jennifer. She was in Lexi's study group in college. They were close friends before Lexi got married. "Lexi," Jennifer said. Her voice broke. Tears filled her eyes. "I am so sorry. I should have stayed in touch after your divorce. I should have called you." Lexi hugged Jennifer. "It is okay. I needed space back then. I needed time to heal. You look amazing, Jennifer said. She wiped her eyes. And your daughters are perfect. Thank you, Lexi said. They are my world. Jennifer looked at the girls. How old are you? We are 8, Maya said. We just had our birthday in February. February 14th, Mia added. Valentine's Day. Jennifer's eyes widened. She did the math in her head. You had them 2 years after your divorce? Yes, Lexi said. 2 years after I left Boston. 2 years after I started my new life in Providence. Jennifer slowly turned and looked at Jared. Her face showed anger. He told everyone you were the problem. He told everyone you could not have children. But you had 4 babies naturally just 2 years later. Lexi did not respond. She just stood there calmly. More people began to stand up from their tables. They walked toward Lexi. They wanted to see her. They wanted to meet her daughters. They wanted to hear her story. At Jared's table, no one spoke to him. No one looked at him. Carol picked up her purse and moved to a different table. Tim followed her. David stood up and walked toward the bar. One by one, the people at Jared's table left. Soon, he was sitting alone. Broken glass still lay at his feet. Wine still stained his white shirt. Steve Parker walked over to Jared's table. He did not sit down. He just stood there looking at his old friend. Steve, Jared said. His voice shook. I did not know. I swear I did not know. Steve shook his head slowly. That does not matter, Jared. You should not have said those things about her. Not here. Not in front of 200 people. You humiliated her. You blamed her. And now everyone knows the truth. What truth? Jared asked. His face was still pale. That you were the problem, Steve said quietly. Not her. You. Steve walked away. He joined his wife at another table. They did not look back at Jared. Jared sat frozen in his chair. He could not move. He could not think. He watched Lexi across the room. She was surrounded by people now. Old classmates hugged her. Old professors shook her hand. Her daughters stood beside her, smiling and answering questions. They looked confident. They looked happy. They looked loved. The side door of the ballroom opened. Amanda walked back in. Her eyes were still red. She had been crying in the bathroom. She walked slowly back toward the table. Then she saw Lexi. She saw the 4 girls. She stopped walking. She stood in the middle of the aisle, staring. Amanda turned her head and looked at Jared. He was sitting alone at the table. His head was down. His hands covered his face. She walked toward him slowly. Her heels clicked on the floor. She sat down in the chair next to him. She did not say anything at first. She just stared at him. Finally, Amanda spoke. Her voice was cold. Who is that woman, Jared? Jared lifted his head. His eyes were red. That is Lexi, my ex-wife. Amanda looked across the room at Lexi again. She looked at the 4 identical girls. And those are her daughters? Yes, Jared whispered. How many daughters does she have? Amanda asked. She already knew the answer. She just wanted to hear him say it. 4, Jared said. His voice cracked. Amanda's jaw tightened. You told me she could not have children. You told me she was the reason you never became a father. You said her body was the problem. Jared did not respond. Did you lie to me? Amanda asked. Her voice got louder. Did you lie to everyone here tonight? I did not lie, Jared said quickly. I really thought she could not get pregnant. We tried for 8 years. Nothing happened. I thought it was her. But it was not her, Amanda said. Tears ran down her face. She has 4 daughters. 4. She had them naturally. She had them without you. People at nearby tables turned to listen. They did not even pretend to look away anymore. Amanda stood up. She grabbed her purse. I cannot do this right now. Amanda, wait! Jared reached for her hand. Please, let me explain. She pulled her hand away. Explain what? That you blamed your ex-wife for 8 years? That you told your friends and family she was broken? That you stood up in front of 200 people tonight and humiliated her? I did not mean to, Jared said weakly. Yes, you did, Amanda said. She looked at him with disgust. You wanted everyone to feel sorry for you. You wanted everyone to think you were the victim. But you were not the victim, Jared. She was. Amanda walked toward the exit. She did not look back. The ballroom door closed behind her. Jared sat alone. He felt every pair of eyes on him. He felt the weight of their judgment. He wanted to disappear. He wanted to run. But he could not move. Across the room, Lexi stood with her daughters. Patricia was asking her questions. Other people gathered around to listen. Lexi had not looked at Jared yet. She had not acknowledged him at all. But now, slowly, she turned her head. Her eyes met his. Lexi finally turns her gaze toward Jared, and in that moment, he knows his carefully built image is about to crumble. Jared's chest tightened. Lexi was looking directly at him. Her face was calm. She did not look angry. She did not look sad. She just looked at him with steady eyes. He felt small. He felt exposed. He wanted to look away, but he could not. Madison, one of the quadruplets, tugged on Lexi's hand. Mom, is that him? Lexi looked down at her daughter. Yes, sweetheart, that is him. He looks scared, Morgan said quietly. He should be, Maya said. She crossed her arms. Lexi touched Maya's shoulder gently. Maya, we are not here to be mean. We are here to show people the truth. That is all. But he was mean to you, Mia said. Her voice was soft but serious. Yes, he was, Lexi said. But we are better than that. We do not need to be mean back. We just need to be ourselves. The four girls nodded. They trusted their mother completely. Patricia Hayes stood next to Lexi. She looked nervous. She glanced at Jared, then back at Lexi. Lexi, would you like to say a few words to the group? Lexi paused. She looked at her daughters. Maya squeezed her hand and smiled. You should, Mom. Tell them. Lexi took a deep breath. Okay, yes, I will say a few words. Patricia walked toward the stage. Lexi followed. Her daughters stayed close behind her. The room went silent again. People stopped talking. They stopped moving. Everyone watched Lexi walk to the front of the ballroom. Patricia picked up the microphone from the stand. She tapped it lightly. Everyone, may I have your attention, please? Lexi Williams would like to say something. Patricia handed the microphone to Lexi. Lexi held it carefully. She looked out at the crowd. 200 faces looked back at her. She saw old friends, old professors, people she had not seen in years. And in the back, sitting alone at his table, she saw Jared. Thank you, Patricia, Lexi said. Her voice was clear and steady. I know my arrival tonight was unexpected. I apologize for that. But my daughters wanted to see where their mother went to college. They wanted to wear the school colors. They wanted to feel proud of me. Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan sat down at a table near the stage. They smiled at people nearby. A woman handed them glasses of juice. They said, "Thank you," politely. Lexi continued. Many of you knew me when I was married to Jared Coleman. Many of you were at our wedding. Some of you knew we divorced 6 years ago. What you may not know is what happened during those 8 years we were married. The room was completely silent. Not a single sound. Everyone listened. Jared wanted children right away, Lexi said. I wanted to wait. I wanted to build my career first. But Jared pushed, so we started trying. Nothing happened the first year, or the second year, or the third. By the 4th year, Jared was angry. He blamed me. He told me I was the problem. He made me go to doctors. He scheduled appointments for me. He tracked my cycle on a calendar. He made me take tests. Every test came back normal, but Jared said I was not trying hard enough. People in the crowd began to whisper. Jennifer, Lexi's old friend, wiped tears from her eyes. I believed him, Lexi said. Her voice stayed calm. I believed I was broken. I believed something was wrong with my body. I believed I was failing as a wife. I stopped seeing my friends. I stopped drawing. I stopped doing the things I loved. I became smaller and smaller. I became sad. I became empty. Carol, the woman from Lexi's sorority, put her hand over her mouth. She was crying now. "After 8 years, I finally left," Lexi said. "It was the hardest decision I ever made. But I knew if I stayed, I would disappear completely. So I moved to Providence, Rhode Island. I rented a small apartment. I started working from home as a graphic designer. I went to therapy. I learned to love myself again." Professor Green nodded slowly. He remembered Lexi as a bright, happy student. He remembered when she got married. He remembered hearing about the divorce. "1 year after my divorce, I met a man named Marcus Williams," Lexi said. A small smile appeared on her face. "He was kind. He was patient. He listened to me. He never pressured me about anything. We fell in love slowly. I told him about my past. I told him I might not be able to have children. Marcus said he loved me no matter what." Jared sat at his table staring at the floor. His hands were shaking. His heart pounded. "6 months into our relationship, I got pregnant," Lexi said. "Naturally. No treatments, no doctors, no interventions. I went for my first ultrasound." The doctor looked at the screen for a long time. Then she turned to me and smiled. She said I was carrying 4 babies, 4 healthy heartbeats. Gasps filled the room. Even people who already knew were shocked hearing it again. "I gave birth to Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan on February 14th, 8 years ago," Lexi said. "They were born at Women and Infants Hospital in Providence. Each one weighed about 4 pounds. They were perfect. They are still perfect." The 4 girls waved from their table. People smiled at them. Some people clapped. "I am telling you this story because tonight my ex-husband stood in this room and told 200 people that I could not have children," Lexi said. Her voice was still calm. She was not yelling. She was not crying. She was just speaking the truth. "He said my body was the problem. He said he waited 8 years for me, but I could not give him a family. He said that 5 minutes before I walked through those doors with my 4 daughters." More whispers spread through the crowd. People looked at Jared with disgust. "I am not here for revenge," Lexi said. "I am not here to embarrass anyone. I am here because my daughters wanted to see my college. But I also want to say something important. When you are in a relationship that hurts you, your body knows. When you are stressed, afraid, and controlled, your body shuts down. When I left that marriage, my body healed. When I found love and safety and peace, my body worked perfectly. I was never broken. I was just in pain." The room erupted in applause. Loud, thunderous applause. People stood up from their tables. They clapped and clapped. Some people wiped tears. Some people shouted words of support. Jennifer stood and clapped with her hands above her head. Professor Green clapped slowly and nodded with respect. Carol clapped and cried at the same time. Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan ran to the stage. They hugged their mother tightly. Lexi bent down and kissed each of their heads. She whispered something to them. They nodded and smiled. "Thank you for listening," Lexi said into the microphone. "I am not angry anymore. I forgive Jared. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means I am moving forward with my life. And I am happy. I am truly happy." Lexi handed the microphone back to Patricia. Patricia hugged her. More people rushed to the stage. They wanted to talk to Lexi. They wanted to meet her daughters. They wanted to tell her they were proud. At the back of the room, Jared finally stood up. His legs were weak. His face was red. He felt every eye in the room on him. Some people stared at him with anger, some with pity, some with disgust. He stumbled toward the side exit. He needed air. He needed to leave. But before he reached the door, Steve Parker stepped in front of him. Steve's face was hard. His jaw was tight. "Steve, move," Jared said quietly. "I need to go." "No," Steve said. "You need to hear this first." Jared stopped. He looked at his old friend. "What you did tonight was cruel, Jared," Steve said. His voice was low but firm. You humiliated that woman in front of everyone. You blamed her for something that was not her fault. You lied. You made yourself the victim when you were the problem all along. I did not know, Jared said. His voice cracked. I did not know she had kids. That does not matter, Steve said. You should never have said those things about her. Never. You should have kept her name out of your mouth. You should have just been happy about your new baby without tearing Lexi down. But you could not do that. You needed everyone to feel sorry for you. You needed to look like the good guy. And now everyone knows the truth. Jared's eyes filled with tears. Steve, please. I was your best man, Jared, Steve said. I stood next to you when you married Lexi. I liked her. Everyone liked her. And then you divorced her and told everyone she was the problem. I believed you. We all believed you. But we were wrong. You were the problem. You are still the problem. Steve walked away. He did not look back. Jared stood alone near the exit. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He pulled it out with shaking hands. It was a text from Amanda. The message read, I am going to my sister Carmen's house in Cambridge. I need time to think. I do not know if I can trust you anymore. Jared read the message 3 times. His hands shook harder. He tried to type a response. His fingers moved over the screen, but he deleted every word. He did not know what to say. There was nothing he could say. He looked back at the ballroom one more time. Lexi stood in the center of a crowd of people. Her daughters were beside her. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy. Lexi was laughing at something someone said. She looked beautiful. She looked free. Jared pushed through the exit door and walked into the empty hallway. The door closed behind him. The sound of applause and laughter faded. He was alone. Jared sits alone at the table, surrounded by empty chairs and broken glass, as Lexi's daughters look at him with curious, unafraid eyes. Jared leaned against the wall in the hallway. His legs felt weak. His head spun. He could still hear the muffled sound of voices from inside the ballroom. He could still hear people talking, laughing. He pressed his palms against his eyes. He tried to breathe. After a few minutes, he pushed himself off the wall. He walked slowly back toward the ballroom doors. He did not want to go back inside, but he could not leave. Not yet. His car keys were still at the table. His jacket was still on his chair. He had to go back. Jared opened the door quietly. He slipped back inside. The ballroom was still full of people, but now everyone was standing. Groups formed near the stage. People talked loudly. They laughed. They took pictures. At the center of it all was Lexi. Her daughters stood beside her. They smiled at everyone. They answered questions. They looked happy. Jared walked slowly back to his table. His feet crunched on broken glass. He sat down in his chair. He stared at the red wine stain on the white tablecloth. He stared at his ruined shoes. He did not move. A server came by to clean up the broken glass. She swept the pieces into a dustpan. She did not look at Jared. She did not say anything. She just cleaned and left. Jared sat alone. Every other seat at his table was empty. People at nearby tables glanced at him. Some whispered. Some shook their heads. No one came over to talk to him. No one asked if he was okay. He was invisible now. He watched Lexi from across the room. She was talking to Professor Green. Her daughters stood in a line next to her. One of them said something and everyone laughed. Lexi put her hand on her daughter's head. She looked so proud. She looked so at peace. Jared's mind drifted. He thought back to when he was married to Lexi. He remembered their apartment in Brookline. He remembered Sunday mornings. He remembered how Lexi used to draw in her sketchbook at the kitchen table. She would sit there for hours. She was always smiling back then. But then they started trying for a baby, and everything changed. Jared remembered the first year. They were hopeful. They were excited. But nothing happened. Month after month, the pregnancy tests were negative. Lexi would cry. Jared would tell her it was okay. They would try again. By the second year, Jared was frustrated. He started researching fertility. He printed out articles. He made Lexi read them. He told her what foods to eat, what vitamins to take, what positions to try. Lexi did everything he said, but still, nothing happened. By the third year, Jared was angry. He scheduled doctor appointments for Lexi. He did not ask her first. He just made the appointments and told her to go. Lexi went. She took the tests. She let doctors examine her. Every test came back normal. The doctors said there was no problem, but Jared did not believe them. He told Lexi to get more tests, to see more doctors. By the fourth year, Lexi stopped drawing. She stopped seeing her friends. She stopped smiling. She moved through the apartment like a ghost. Jared told himself it was because she felt guilty. He told himself she was depressed because she could not give him a child. He never asked her how she felt. He never listened when she tried to talk. He just kept pushing, kept blaming, kept making her feel small. Jared remembered their final year of marriage. Lexi barely spoke. She stopped trying to explain her feelings. She just did what Jared told her to do. She went to the appointments. She took the medications. She tracked her cycle. But nothing worked, and Jared's anger grew. He remembered the night Lexi asked for a divorce. They were sitting in the living room. Lexi was calm. She said she could not do this anymore. She said she was leaving. Jared laughed. He told her she was being dramatic. He told her all marriages go through hard times. But Lexi shook her head. She said this was not a hard time. This was 8 years of pain. She said she was done. Jared called her selfish. He called her a quitter. He told her she was giving up on their family. But Lexi just looked at him with tired eyes. She said there was no family to give up on. There was only pain. Then she walked into the bedroom and started packing. After the divorce, Jared told everyone it was Lexi's fault. He told his parents Lexi could not have children and did not want to try anymore. He told his friends Lexi was broken. He told his co-workers Lexi abandoned him. Everyone felt sorry for Jared. Everyone said he deserved better. And Jared believed them. He believed he was the victim. But now, sitting in this ballroom, watching Lexi with her 4 daughters, Jared felt something shift inside him. A small voice in his head whispered the truth he had been avoiding for 6 years. What if it was not Lexi? What if it was him? Not his body, but his behavior, his anger, his control, his cruelty. Jared thought about how stressed Lexi was during their marriage, how sad she became, how small. He remembered how she stopped eating properly, how she stopped sleeping well, how she cried herself to sleep some nights. He heard her, but he never asked why. He just got angry that she was not trying hard enough. What if her body shut down because of him? What if the stress he caused made it impossible for her to get pregnant? What if he was the problem all along? Jared felt a wave of guilt crash over him. His chest tightened. His throat felt thick. He wanted to cry. He wanted to apologize. He wanted to take back every cruel word he ever said to Lexi. But then his pride pushed back. It rose up inside him like a wall. He told himself this was not his fault. He told himself he could not have known. He told himself Lexi should have spoken up. She should have told him he was hurting her. She should have fought back. But even as he thought these things, he knew they were lies. Lexi did try to speak up. She tried many times. She told him she needed space. She told him she needed to slow down. She told him the pressure was too much. But Jared never listened. He dismissed her feelings. He called her weak. He told her to try harder. Jared looked down at his phone. Amanda's text was still on the screen. She was at her sister's house. She needed time to think. She did not trust him anymore. He tried to type a message. His fingers moved slowly over the keyboard. "Amanda, please. I can explain." He deleted it. "I did not know about Lexi's kids. I swear." He deleted that too. "I am sorry. Please come back." He deleted that as well. Nothing he wrote sounded right. Nothing he said would fix this. He put his phone face down on the table. Across the room, a group of people took a photo with Lexi and her daughters. They all smiled. The camera flashed. One of the daughters made a funny face. Everyone laughed. Lexi hugged her daughters close. She whispered something to them. They nodded and giggled. Jennifer, Lexi's old friend, held one of the daughters' hands. She bent down and asked her a question. The little girl answered and Jennifer's face lit up. She said something to Lexi. Lexi smiled and nodded. Jard watched all of this happen. He watched Lexi be loved by everyone in the room. He watched her daughters charm every person they met. He watched Lexi laugh. He watched her shine. She was everything he remembered and more. She was happy. She was whole. She was free. And she did it all without him. Jard realized something in that moment. He did not just lose Lexi 6 years ago. He destroyed her. He spent 8 years breaking her down. He blamed her for something that was not her fault. He made her believe she was worthless. And when she finally found the strength to leave, he spread lies about her. He told everyone she was the problem. He ruined her reputation. He tried to make himself look like the victim. But Lexi rebuilt herself. She healed. She found love. She had 4 beautiful daughters. She created a life full of joy and peace. And she did not need Jared for any of it. She did not need his approval. She did not need his validation. She did not even need his apology. She was better off without him. Jard felt the full weight of that truth. It crushed him. His new wife just left him. His old friends looked at him with disgust. His reputation was destroyed. And across the room his ex-wife was surrounded by people who loved her, people who believed her, people who saw the truth. Jard had spent 6 years building a new life, a new image, a new story. He thought he had won. He thought he had moved on. He thought he was happy. But it was all built on lies. And tonight, those lies were exposed in front of 200 people. The room erupts in thunderous applause, and Jared realizes that the truth he tried to bury has just destroyed everything he built. The applause finally stopped, but the energy in the room remained high. People continued to gather around Lexi. They asked her questions. They asked her daughters questions. An older woman with gray hair touched Maya's braids gently and said they were beautiful. Maya smiled and said thank you. A man in a navy suit asked Lexi where she lived now. Lexi told him Providence, Rhode Island. She said she had a small house there with a backyard. She said her daughters played soccer in that backyard every weekend. The man smiled and said that sounded wonderful. Carol, the woman from Lexi's old sorority, wiped her eyes again. She held Lexi's hand tightly. I am so sorry I did not stay in touch with you after the divorce. I should have called. I should have checked on you. It is okay, Lexi said gently. I needed space back then. I needed to heal by myself. But you should not have been alone, Carol said. You should have had support. We all should have been there for you. I was not alone, Lexi said. I had my mother. She moved from Vermont to Providence to help me. She lived with me during the pregnancy. She helped me when the girls were born. I had support, just not from Boston. Carol nodded. She looked at the 4 girls. Which one of you was born first? Me, Maya said proudly. I am the oldest by 3 minutes. Then me, Mia said. 2 minutes after Maya. Then me, Madison said quietly. 1 minute after Mia. And I am the baby, Morgan said. She smiled wide, but only by 1 minute. Everyone laughed. The girls were charming. They were confident. They spoke clearly. They made eye contact. They were everything Jared said Lexi could never give him. Jennifer asked Lexi another question. Do you still draw? You were so talented in college. I started drawing again after my divorce, Lexi said. It took me a while. But yes, I draw now. I work as a graphic designer from home. I create logos and websites for small businesses. That is amazing, Jennifer said. You always wanted to do that. Yes, Lexi said. I finally got to do what I loved. I built my career on my own terms. Professor Green asked about the girls' school. Lexi told him they went to Oak Hill Elementary. She said they were in 3rd grade. She said Maya and Mia took dance classes on Tuesdays. She said Madison loved to read and went to the library every week. She said Morgan loved to draw just like her mother. They sound like wonderful children, Professor Green said. They are, Lexi said. Her voice was full of love. They are my everything. Patricia Hayes stood nearby listening. She finally spoke up. Lexi, I have to ask. When did you decide to come to the reunion tonight? Last week, Lexi said. My daughters asked me about college. They wanted to know where I studied. They saw my old Boston University sweatshirt and asked if they could see the campus. So I looked online and saw the reunion was happening. I registered. I bought the girls these shirts. We drove up from Providence this afternoon. Did you know Jared would be here? Patricia asked carefully. Yes, Lexi said. A mutual friend told me Jared was coming with his new wife. She told me his wife was pregnant. I knew he might say something about me. He always did, so I decided to come anyway. I decided my daughters would see me stand tall. Patricia nodded slowly. You are very brave. I am not brave, Lexi said. I am just done being silent. More people wanted to talk to Lexi. A woman asked if she could take a photo with the Quadruplets. Lexi said yes. The four girls stood together and smiled. The woman took several pictures. She thanked them. Another couple asked Lexi about raising quadruplets. Was it hard? Was it expensive? How did she manage? Lexi answered every question with patience. She said yes, it was hard. Yes, it was expensive. But she had help. She had her mother. She had her partner Marcus. She had a good support system. She made it work. Her daughters were worth everything. A young woman with curly hair approached Lexi. Her name was Tasha. She was not part of Jared and Lexi's graduating class. She was part of the class of 2005. But she heard about what happened. She wanted to meet Lexi. I just wanted to say thank you, Tasha said. Thank you for speaking your truth tonight. I was in a relationship like that once. My ex-boyfriend blamed me for everything. He made me feel small. He made me feel worthless. I finally left him last year, and hearing your story tonight made me feel less alone. Lexi hugged Tasha. You are not alone, and you are not small. You are strong. You left. That takes courage. Tasha nodded. Tears ran down her face. Thank you. I needed to hear that. Meanwhile, Jared remained at his table. He watched everything happen. He saw people take photos with Lexi. He saw people hug her. He saw people cry with her. He saw his ex-wife become the hero of the night, and he was the villain. His phone buzzed again. He picked it up. It was a text from his mother, Ellen. Your father just got a call from Bob Miller. He was at your reunion tonight. He told us what happened. Call me immediately. Jared put the phone down. He could not call his mother, not now. He could not face her disappointment. He could not hear her questions. He could not explain what he did. Another buzz. This time it was a text from his younger brother, Kyle. What did you do, Jared? Mom is upset. Dad is angry. Call them. Jared did not respond. He turned his phone face down on the table. A server walked by with a tray of wine glasses. Jared reached for one. The server hesitated but handed it to him. Jared drank half the glass in one swallow. Across the room, Lexi's daughters were dancing near the stage. The DJ was playing music. Maya and Mia held hands and spun in circles. Madison clapped to the beat. Morgan jumped up and down. They were having fun. They were children. They were innocent. They were happy. Jared thought about his own daughter, Charlotte. She would be born in 3 months. Would she be happy? Would Amanda even let him be part of her life now? Would Charlotte grow up knowing her father was a liar? Would she hear the story of this night? His chest tightened again. He finished the wine. He wanted another glass but did not want to call the server over. He did not want anyone to look at him. He wanted to disappear. Suddenly, a shadow fell over his table. Jared looked up. Steve Parker was standing there. His arms were crossed. His face was serious. Steve, Jared said quietly, I thought you left. I am about to. Steve said, "but I wanted to say something first." Jared said nothing. He just waited. "I have known you since we were 18 years old," Steve said. "We were roommates. We were fraternity brothers. I was your best man. I thought I knew you, but tonight I realized I do not know you at all." "Steve, please," Jared started. "No," Steve cut him off. "You need to hear this. What you did tonight was unforgivable. You stood up in front of 200 people and humiliated your ex-wife. You blamed her for something that was never her fault. You made yourself the victim when you were the one who caused pain." Jared looked down at the table. He could not meet Steve's eyes. "I believed you, Jared," Steve continued. "When you told me Lexi could not have kids, I believed you. I felt sorry for you. I thought you got a bad deal, but you lied. You lied to me. You lied to everyone. And the worst part is, I do not think you even realize how much damage you caused." "I did not know she had kids," Jared said weakly. "That does not matter." Steve's voice got louder. A few people nearby turned to look. Steve lowered his voice again. "It does not matter if you knew or not. You should never have said those things about her. You should have kept your past private. You should have just been happy about your new baby without tearing Lexi down. But you could not do that. Your ego would not let you." Jared felt tears burn behind his eyes. He blinked them away. "Pride and arrogance always have consequences, Jared," Steve said. "Always. You humiliated Lexi for years. You told everyone she was broken. You ruined her reputation. And tonight, the truth came out. And now, you have to live with that." Steve turned to walk away. Then he stopped. He looked back at Jared one more time. "Lexi has 4 beautiful daughters. She has a good life. She is happy. She won, Jared. And you lost. You lost because you chose cruelty over kindness. You chose pride over truth. And that is on you. No one else. Just you." Steve walked away. He joined his wife near the exit. They left together without looking back. Jared sat frozen in his chair. Steve's words echoed in his head. "You lost. You lost. You lost." His phone buzzed again. Another text from Amanda. "I talked to Carmen. I am staying with her tonight. Maybe longer. I need to think about what is best for me and the baby. Please do not call me." Jared stared at the message. His hands shook. He typed a response. "Amanda, I am so sorry. Please let me explain. I love you. I love our baby. Please." He hit send. He waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. No response. He looked up. Lexi and her daughters were walking toward the exit now. People followed them. They were still talking to her, still hugging her, still telling her how strong she was. Lexi stopped near the door. She turned and looked across the ballroom one last time. Her eyes found Jared. She looked at him for a long moment. Her face was calm. She did not smile. She did not frown. She just looked at him. Then she turned away. She took her daughter's hands. And she walked out. Jared looks up from his phone and sees Lexi laughing with their old friends, her daughters by her side, and he realizes he has lost everything that truly mattered. The ballroom felt different after Lexi left. The energy changed. People started to leave. They gathered their coats and purses. They said goodbye to friends. They made plans to meet for coffee. They hugged each other. But no one came to Jared's table. No one said goodbye to him. He was still sitting there alone. Jared did not move. He could not move. His body felt heavy. His mind was racing, but his body would not respond. He just sat there staring at the empty space where Lexi had been standing. The servers began to clear tables. They stacked plates. They collected glasses. They wiped down tablecloths. One server reached for Jared's empty wine glass. He did not even notice. He was somewhere else. He was in the past. Jared thought about his marriage to Lexi. He thought about their apartment in Brookline. It was a small 2-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor. They moved in right after their wedding. Lexi decorated it. She hung curtains. She bought plants. She put up photos of their wedding. She made it feel like home. He remembered Sunday mornings. Lexi would wake up early and make coffee. She would sit at the kitchen table with her sketchbook. She would draw for hours. Sometimes she drew buildings. Sometimes she drew people. Sometimes she just drew patterns and shapes. She was always humming while she drew. She was happy. But then they started trying to have a baby. And slowly, those Sunday mornings disappeared. Jared remembered the first doctor appointment. It was 2 years into their marriage. They had been trying for a year with no success. Jared made the appointment. He did not ask Lexi first. He just called the doctor and scheduled it. He told Lexi the night before. "We have a doctor's appointment tomorrow at 10 in the morning," Jared said. Lexi looked up from her sketchbook. "What kind of appointment?" "A fertility doctor," Jared said. "We need to find out what is wrong." Lexi put down her pencil. "Jared, it has only been a year. The doctor said it can take time." "It is taking too long," Jared said. "We need answers." Lexi went to the appointment. The doctor asked her questions, ran tests, examined her. Everything came back normal. The doctor said to keep trying, to stay relaxed, to not stress about it. But Jared did not listen. He made another appointment with a different doctor, then another, then another. Each time the tests came back normal. Each time the doctors said there was no problem. But Jared did not believe them. He started researching online. He printed articles about fertility. He left them on the kitchen table for Lexi to read. He bought books about getting pregnant. He highlighted sections and gave them to Lexi. He told her what to eat, what to avoid, what vitamins to take, what exercises to do. Lexi did everything he asked. She took the vitamins. She ate the foods. She went to the appointments. But nothing happened. By the 3rd year, Jared was angry all the time. He would come home from work and ask Lexi if she took her vitamins. Did she eat the right foods? Did she track her cycle? Did she follow the schedule? Lexi would say yes. She would show him the calendar. She would show him the vitamin bottles. But Jared would find something to criticize. She took the vitamin at the wrong time. She ate too much sugar. She did not exercise enough. Jared remembered one fight in particular. It was late at night. They were in bed. Lexi had just gotten her period again. Another month of trying. Another failure. "I do not understand," Jared said. "We are doing everything right. Why is this not working?" Lexi did not answer. She just stared at the ceiling. "Are you even trying?" Jared asked. His voice was harsh. "Are you taking this seriously?" "Of course I am," Lexi said quietly. "I am doing everything you tell me to do." "Then why is nothing happening?" Jared sat up in bed. "The doctors said you are fine, but clearly something is wrong with you." Lexi turned her head to look at him. Her eyes were wet. "Maybe something is wrong with you." Jared's face turned red. "I am not the problem. I am doing my part. You are the one who cannot get pregnant." Lexi turned away from him. She pulled the blanket over her shoulder. She did not say anything else. She just cried silently until she fell asleep. Jared remembered how he told his parents about the fertility problems. They came to Boston for Thanksgiving during the 4th year of marriage. His father, Richard, asked when they were planning to have children. Jared told him they were trying, but Lexi could not get pregnant. He said they had been to multiple doctors. He said the doctors could not figure out what was wrong with Lexi. His mother, Ellen, looked at Lexi with pity. "Oh, you poor thing. That must be so hard for you." Lexi just nodded. She did not correct Jared. She did not defend herself. She just sat there quietly while Jared told his parents she was the problem. Jared told his friends the same story. He told his co-workers. He told his fraternity brothers. Everyone felt sorry for him. Everyone said he was being so patient. Everyone said Lexi was lucky to have such a supportive husband. But Jared was not supportive. He was controlling. He was cruel. He remembered how Lexi changed during those years. She stopped drawing. Her sketchbook sat on the shelf collecting dust. She stopped calling her friends. She stopped going to dinner with her sorority sisters. She stopped wearing makeup. She stopped doing her hair. She just went through the motions of life. She would wake up, go to work, come home, make dinner, go to bed. Every day was the same. She became a ghost in their apartment. She was there, but she was not really there. Jared told himself it was because Lexi felt guilty. He told himself she was depressed because she could not give him a baby. He never asked her how she really felt. He never asked if she was okay. He just kept pushing, kept scheduling appointments, kept blaming her. Sitting in the ballroom now, Jared wondered something he had never allowed himself to wonder before. What if he was the problem? Not his body, but his behavior, his anger, his control. What if the stress he put on Lexi made it impossible for her to get pregnant? What if her body shut down because she was so unhappy? What if she left him and her body healed, and that is why she got pregnant 2 years later? The thought made Jared's stomach turn. He felt sick. He felt guilty. He felt ashamed. But then his pride rose up. It pushed back against the guilt. It told him he was not responsible. It told him he did not know. It told him Lexi should have said something. She should have told him he was hurting her. She should have stood up for herself. But even as he thought these things, a deeper voice inside him spoke the truth. Lexi did say something. She tried many times. She told him she was stressed. She told him she needed space. She told him the pressure was too much. But Jared never listened. He dismissed her. He told her to stop being dramatic. He told her to try harder. Jared picked up his phone again. Still no response from Amanda. He opened his text messages. He scrolled up. He looked at their conversation from earlier in the week. Amanda had texted him on Wednesday. "I am excited about the reunion. I hope your friends like me." Jared had responded, "They will love you. You are perfect." But now Amanda was gone. She was at her sister's house. She needed space. She did not trust him. Jared scrolled further. He found old text messages from 6 years ago, messages from right after his divorce, messages to Steve, messages to his brother Kyle. One message to Steve said, "Divorce is final. I am glad it is over. Lexi was holding me back. I can finally move on with my life." Another message to Kyle said, "I wasted 8 years with someone who could not give me what I wanted. I should have left sooner." Jared read those messages now and felt disgusted with himself. He talked about Lexi like she was nothing, like she was an object that did not work properly, like she was something he could just throw away. But Lexi was not nothing. She was a person. She was a woman who loved him. She was a wife who tried her best, and he destroyed her. Jared put his phone down. He looked around the ballroom. Most people were gone now. Only a few small groups remained. They were by the exit putting on their coats. The DJ was packing up his equipment. The servers were clearing the last tables. The lights were brighter now. The music was off. The night was over. Jared stood up slowly. His legs felt unsteady. His head felt light. He had drunk too much wine. He had not eaten enough dinner. He grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. He picked up his jacket from the back of his chair. He put it on slowly. His hands were shaking. He looked down at the wine stain on his shirt. He looked at his ruined shoes. He looked at the broken glass that had been swept into a corner. Everything was broken. His reputation, his marriage, his carefully built image. Everything he worked for over the past 6 years was destroyed in one night. And it was his own fault. He did this. No one else. Just him. Jared walked slowly toward the exit. Each step felt heavy. He passed empty tables. He passed servers cleaning up. He passed Patricia Hayes talking to the DJ. She glanced at Jared. Her face showed pity. She did not say goodbye to him. She just looked away. Jared pushed through the ballroom doors. He walked through the hotel lobby. The lobby was quiet now. A few guests sat in chairs reading. The front desk clerk was helping someone check in. No one looked at Jared. No one noticed him. He walked outside. The night air was cool. It was almost 11 o'clock. The street was busy with cars. People walked by laughing and talking. The city was alive. but Jared felt dead inside. He gave his ticket to the valet. He waited for his car. His phone buzzed. He pulled it out, hoping it was Amanda, but it was his father. "Call me now. We need to talk." Jared put the phone back in his pocket. He could not talk to his father. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. The valet pulled up in Jared's black Mercedes. Jared tipped him and got into the car. He sat there for a moment with his hands on the steering wheel. He did not start the engine. He just sat. He thought about Amanda. He thought about Charlotte. He thought about Lexi. He thought about her 4 daughters. Jared stands up slowly, his legs unsteady, and walks toward the exit, knowing he must face Amanda and the ruins of the life he built on lies. Jared finally started the engine. The car hummed to life. He pulled out of the hotel parking area and drove onto the street. He did not know where he was going at first. He just drove. He turned left onto Commonwealth Avenue. The street was bright with lights. Students walked on the sidewalks. Couples held hands. Groups of friends laughed outside restaurants. Jared stopped at a red light. He looked at his phone. Amanda's last message was still there. "I am staying with Carmen tonight, maybe longer. Please do not call me." But Jared could not just leave it like this. He could not let Amanda think he was a monster. He needed to explain. He needed her to understand. He needed to fix this. The light turned green. Jared turned right. He headed toward Cambridge. Carmen lived in a small apartment building near Central Square. Jared had only been there once before. It was for a birthday party 6 months ago. He remembered the address, 23 Howard Street, apartment 2B. The drive took 15 minutes. Jared parked on the street outside the building. He sat in his car for 10 minutes. He tried to think of what to say, how to explain, how to make Amanda understand, but nothing sounded right in his head. Every explanation sounded like an excuse. Every apology sounded empty. Finally, Jared got out of the car. He walked up to the building entrance. He pressed the buzzer for apartment 2B. He waited. No answer. He pressed it again. Still no answer. He pressed it a third time and held it longer. The intercom crackled. A woman's voice came through. It was Carmen. "Who is it?" "It is Jared," he said. "I need to talk to Amanda." "She does not want to talk to you," Carmen said. Her voice was cold. "Please," Jared said. "Just 5 minutes. I need to explain." There was silence. Then the intercom crackled again. "Wait there." Jared waited. 2 minutes passed. Then the building door opened. Carmen stood there. She wore jeans and a sweatshirt. Her arms were crossed. Her face showed no warmth. "5 minutes," Carmen said. "That is all you get." "Thank you," Jared said. Carmen stepped aside. Jared walked into the building. They climbed the stairs to the second floor. Carmen opened the door to her apartment. It was small but clean. A couch sat against one wall. A television was on but muted. A kitchen was visible through a doorway. Amanda sat on the couch. She had a blanket wrapped around her shoulders. Her eyes were red and swollen. She had been crying. She did not look at Jared when he walked in. "Amanda," Jared said softly. She did not respond. Carmen stood near the door. 5 minutes. I will be right here." Jared walked slowly to the couch. He sat down on the other end. There was space between him and Amanda. She still did not look at him. "Amanda, please look at me," Jared said. She turned her head slightly. Her eyes met his. They were filled with pain and anger. "Why are you here?" Amanda asked. Her voice was tired. "I needed to talk to you," Jared said. "I needed to explain." "Explain what?" Amanda asked. "Explain how you lied to me? Explain how you humiliated your ex-wife in front of 200 people?" "I did not lie to you," Jared said. "I really believed Lexi could not have children. I did not know about her daughters. I swear." Amanda shook her head. "That does not make it better, Jared. You still said those things about her. You blamed her publicly. You made yourself look like a victim when you were not." "I was trying to share good news about our baby," Jared said. "I was excited about Charlotte. I just wanted everyone to know." You did not need to tear Lexi down to do that, Amanda said. Her voice got louder. You could have just said you were happy. You could have just said you were excited to be a father. But instead, you blamed your ex-wife for something that was not her fault. You made her sound broken. You made her sound like a failure. Jared opened his mouth, but no words came out. And then she walked in, Amanda continued. She walked in with 4 daughters, 4 identical, beautiful, healthy daughters, and everyone realized you lied. Everyone realized you were the problem, not her. I was not the problem, Jared said. His voice rose. We tried for 8 years. Nothing happened. The doctors said she was fine, but nothing happened. What was I supposed to think? You were supposed to support her. Amanda's voice cracked. You were supposed to love her and be patient with her. You were supposed to consider that maybe the stress you put on her was making things worse. But you did not do any of that. You just blamed her. You made her feel worthless. And then when she finally left you, you spread lies about her. Jared looked down at his hands. They were shaking. I talked to Carmen, Amanda said. Her voice got quieter. She told me about the woman at the reunion, the one who was in Lexi's sorority. Carol. Carmen knows her. Carol told Carmen that everyone knew you were controlling during your marriage. Everyone saw how Lexi changed, how she stopped smiling, how she stopped seeing her friends. But no one said anything because you told everyone she was just stressed about not getting pregnant. Jared did not respond. Did you control her, Jared? Amanda asked. Did you tell her what to do? Did you make all the decisions? Did you schedule her doctor appointments without asking her? Did you track her cycle? Did you make her feel small? Jared's throat felt tight. He could not lie. Not anymore. Yes, he whispered. Amanda's face crumpled. Fresh tears ran down her cheeks. Oh my God. I thought I was helping, Jared said quickly. I thought I was taking charge. I thought I was solving the problem. She was not a problem to solve, Amanda said. She was your wife. She was a person. You were supposed to love her and respect her, not control her. Carmen stepped closer from the doorway. Amanda, you do not have to do this right now. But Amanda kept going. I am scared, Jared. I am scared of you now. Jared looked up. What? Why? Because if this is how you treated Lexi, then how will you treat me? Amanda said. What happens if something goes wrong with our marriage? Will you blame me too? Will you tell everyone I am the problem? Will you control me the way you controlled her? No, Jared said. Amanda, no. You are different. We are different. How? Amanda asked. How are we different? You already make decisions without asking me. You already dismiss my feelings. Tonight I told you I was tired and wanted to leave early. You ignored me. I told you not to make a speech. You ignored me. You do not listen to me, Jared. Just like you did not listen to Lexi. Jared felt panic rise in his chest. Amanda, please, I love you. I love our baby. I will change. I promise. You promised Lexi the same things, Amanda said quietly. I am sure you did, but you did not change. You just got worse, and she had to leave you to save herself. Jared reached for Amanda's hand, but she pulled it away. I need time, Amanda said. I need to think about what is best for me and for Charlotte. What does that mean? Jared asked. His voice shook. It means I do not know if I want to stay married to you, Amanda said. She looked directly at him. I do not know if I can trust you. I do not know if you will treat me the way you treated Lexi, and I will not let my daughter grow up watching her father disrespect her mother. Amanda, please, Jared said. Tears filled his eyes. Do not do this. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. We can work on it. Maybe, Amanda said, but not right now. Right now, I need space. I need to think. Carmen walked over to the couch. Jared, you need to leave now. Jared stood up slowly. He looked at Amanda. She was looking down at her lap now. Her hands rested on her pregnant belly. How long do you need? Jared asked. I do not know, Amanda said. Until the baby is born at least. Maybe longer. Can I call you? Jared asked. "No," Amanda said. "I will call you when I am ready, if I am ready." Jared felt his world collapsing. "Amanda, please. She is my daughter, too." Amanda finally looked up at him. Her face was hard now. "Then you should have thought about that before you humiliated your ex-wife in front of 200 people. You should have thought about what kind of man you want to be, what kind of father you want to be." Carmen opened the apartment door. "Leave, Jared." Jared walked to the door. He turned back one more time. "I am sorry. I am so sorry." Amanda did not respond. She just pulled the blanket tighter around herself and looked away. Jared walked out. Carmen closed the door behind him. He heard the lock click. He stood in the hallway for a moment. He did not know what to do. He did not know where to go. Finally, he walked down the stairs and out of the building. He got into his car. He sat there in the dark. He put his head on the steering wheel. And for the first time in 6 years, Jared Coleman let himself cry. Amanda places her hand on her pregnant belly and tells Jared she needs time alone to decide if she wants him in her daughter's life. Jared sat in his car outside Carmen's building for 20 minutes. His face was wet with tears. His chest hurt. His head pounded. He finally wiped his eyes and started the engine. He had nowhere to go but home. The drive back to Back Bay took 15 minutes. The streets were quieter now. It was almost midnight. Jared pulled into the parking garage under his apartment building. He parked in his assigned spot. He turned off the engine. He sat in the dark garage for a long time. Finally, he got out of the car. He took the elevator to the 8th floor. The hallway was silent. Everyone was asleep. He unlocked his apartment door and stepped inside. The apartment was dark. Jared did not turn on the lights. He just stood in the doorway. The apartment felt empty, cold, wrong. He walked slowly to the living room. He sat down on the couch. He did not take off his jacket. He did not take off his shoes. He just sat there in the dark. His phone buzzed. He pulled it out. 3 missed calls from his father, 2 missed calls from his mother, 1 missed call from his brother Kyle, 6 text messages. Jared opened the messages. The first was from his father. "Bob Miller called me. He told me what happened at your reunion. Call me immediately. We need to talk." The second was from his mother. "Jared, your father is very upset. Please call us. What happened tonight?" The third was from his brother Kyle. "Dude, what did you do? Mom is crying. Dad is pacing around the house. Call them." Jared deleted the messages. He could not deal with his family right now. He could not explain. He could not defend himself. He just wanted to be alone. He opened his photos. He scrolled through pictures of him and Amanda. There were photos from their wedding 8 months ago. Amanda wore a white dress. She looked so happy. Jared wore a gray suit. He was smiling. They looked perfect together. There were photos from their honeymoon in Florida. They went to Miami Beach. They ate at expensive restaurants. They walked on the beach holding hands. Amanda's skin glowed in the sun. Jared had his arm around her. They looked like a couple in love. There were photos from when Amanda found out she was pregnant. She held up the positive pregnancy test. Her face showed shock and joy. Jared stood next to her, grinning. They were going to be parents. They were going to have a family. But now all of that was in danger. Amanda was gone. She was at her sister's house. She did not trust him anymore. She did not know if she wanted to stay married to him. She did not know if she wanted him in their daughter's life. Jared put his phone down. He leaned back on the couch. He stared at the ceiling. His mind raced with thoughts, memories, regrets. He thought about the moment Lexi walked into the ballroom tonight, the moment he saw her 4 daughters, the moment everyone realized he had lied, the moment his entire image crumbled. He thought about Steve's words. "You lost, Jared. You lost because you chose cruelty over kindness. You chose pride over truth." He thought about Amanda's words. "I am scared of you now. I do not know if you will treat me the way you treated Lexi." Jared closed his eyes. He felt the weight of everything he had done. Every lie he told, every person he hurt, every relationship he destroyed. For 6 years he built a new life, a new image. He told people he was happy. He told people he moved on. He told people Lexi was the problem and he was the victim. People believed him. People felt sorry for him. People supported him. But it was all built on lies. And tonight, the truth came out. In front of 200 people. In front of his new wife. In front of his old friends. In front of everyone. Jared opened his eyes. He stood up from the couch. He walked to the bedroom. He turned on the light. The bed was made. Amanda's pillow still had the indent from this morning. Her robe hung on the back of the door. Her slippers sat by the bed. But she was not here, and she might never come back. Jared sat on the edge of the bed. He looked at his phone again. He scrolled through his contacts. He stopped at Lexi's name. He never deleted her number. He kept it all these years. He never called it. He never texted it. But it was still there. He stared at her name for a long time. He thought about calling her. He thought about apologizing. He thought about telling her he was sorry for everything, for the control, for the blame, for the lies, for the pain he caused, but he did not call. What would he even say? Sorry did not fix 8 years of abuse. Sorry did not erase the damage he caused. Sorry did not change the past. Jared put his phone down. He lay back on the bed. He did not change his clothes. He did not brush his teeth. He just lay there staring at the ceiling. Sleep did not come. His mind would not stop. Hour after hour, he lay awake thinking about everything. At 3 in the morning, his phone rang. It was his father. Jared did not answer. The phone rang again, then again. Finally, Jared answered. "Hello," Jared said. His voice was hoarse. "It is about time," Richard Coleman said. His voice was sharp and angry. "Do you know what time it is? Do you know how long your mother and I have been waiting for you to call?" "I know, Dad," Jared said. "I am sorry." "Sorry?" Richard said. "Sorry is not good enough. Bob Miller told me what happened tonight. He told me you stood up in front of 200 people and humiliated your ex-wife. He told me Lexi showed up with 4 daughters. 4. Is that true?" "Yes," Jared said quietly. "You told us Lexi could not have children," Richard said. "You told us she was the reason you never became a father. You told us she was broken. Were you lying?" "I was not lying," Jared said. "I really believed she could not get pregnant. We tried for 8 years. Nothing happened. I thought it was her." "But it was not her," Richard said. "She had 4 children after she left you. 4 healthy daughters. That means you were wrong. That means you blamed her for something that was not her fault." Jared did not respond. "Your mother is devastated," Richard continued. "She liked Lexi. We all liked Lexi. And now we find out you treated her badly. You controlled her. You blamed her. You spread lies about her. Is that true?" "Dad, it is complicated," Jared said. "No, it is not complicated," Richard said. "You either treated her badly or you did not. Which is it?" Jared was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke quietly. "I treated her badly." He heard his mother's voice in the background. She was crying. Richard said something to her. Then he spoke into the phone again. "Your mother wants to call Lexi and apologize," Richard said. "She wants to tell her we are sorry for believing your lies." "Dad, please," Jared said. "Just leave it alone." "Leave it alone?" Richard's voice got louder. "Jared, you humiliated that woman publicly. You ruined her reputation. You made her feel worthless. And now the truth is out. Everyone knows what you did. Everyone knows you lied. Do you understand what this means for our family? For our name?" "I know, Dad," Jared said. "Where is Amanda?" Richard asked. Jared hesitated. "She is at her sister's house." "She left you?" Richard asked. "She needs space," Jared said. "She needs time to think." Richard was quiet. Then he spoke again. His voice was colder now. "You are just like me, Jared. You are proud. You are stubborn. You do not listen. And you hurt people. I did the same thing to your mother for years. I made her feel small. I dismissed her feelings. I made all the decisions. And she stayed because she had nowhere else to go. But women do not have to stay anymore. They can leave. And Amanda will leave you, just like Lexi did. And you will deserve it. Jared felt tears burn his eyes again. His father had never spoken to him like this before. "Fix this, Jared," Richard said. "Apologize to Amanda. Apologize to Lexi. Take responsibility for what you did. Stop blaming other people. Stop lying. Stop trying to look good. Just be honest. Be better, or you will lose everything." Richard hung up. The line went dead. Jared put his phone down. He sat on the edge of the bed with his head in his hands. His father was right. He was proud. He was stubborn. He did not listen. He hurt people. He hurt Lexi. He was hurting Amanda. He was repeating the same patterns, making the same mistakes. Jared lay back down on the bed. He closed his eyes. But sleep still did not come. His mind replayed the night over and over. Lexi's face, her daughter's faces, Amanda's tears, Steve's disappointment, his father's anger. At 6 in the morning, Jared finally fell asleep, but it was not restful. He dreamed about the ballroom. He dreamed about broken glass. He dreamed about Lexi walking away with her daughters. He dreamed about Amanda leaving with their baby. He dreamed about being alone. Jared's phone buzzes with a text from his father asking what happened at the reunion because people are already talking, and Jared knows his carefully constructed reputation is gone forever. 3 weeks passed after the reunion. Life moved forward for everyone, but not in the way Jared expected. In Providence, Rhode Island, Lexi woke up on a Tuesday morning at 6:30. The sun came through her bedroom window. She stretched and got out of bed. She put on her robe and walked down the hallway. She stopped at her daughter's room. Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan were still sleeping in their bunk beds. Maya and Mia on the top bunks. Madison and Morgan on the bottom. "Girls, time to wake up," Lexi said softly. Maya opened her eyes first. "Good morning, Mom." One by one, the other girls woke up. They climbed down from their beds. They got dressed in their school uniforms. They brushed their teeth. They came downstairs for breakfast. Dorothy, Lexi's mother, was already in the kitchen. She was making pancakes. Dorothy was 65 years old with gray hair and kind eyes. She lived with Lexi to help with the girls. "Good morning, my angels," Dorothy said. She kissed each girl on the head as they sat at the table. "Good morning, Grandma," the girls said together. Lexi poured orange juice for everyone. She sat down at the table with her daughters. They ate breakfast together. They talked about school. Maya had a spelling test. Mia had dance class after school. Madison wanted to go to the library. Morgan had a drawing project due on Friday. "I will pick you up at 3:15, Lexi said. "Dad will pick you up and bring you home." The girls nodded. Marcus was at work already. He left early on Tuesdays. He was a physical therapist at a clinic downtown. He would pick up the girls from Oak Hill Elementary School at 3:15 like he did every day. After breakfast, Lexi drove the girls to school. She kissed them goodbye. She watched them walk into the building holding hands. Then she drove home. She went to her office. She worked from home as a graphic designer. She had 3 client projects due this week. She turned on her computer and started working. Dorothy came into the office with tea. She set it on Lexi's desk. "How are you feeling today, sweetheart?" "Good," Lexi said. She smiled. "Really good." "No regrets about the reunion?" Dorothy asked. "No regrets," Lexi said. "I am glad I went. I am glad the girls saw me speak my truth. I am glad people know what really happened." Dorothy nodded. "You are strong, Lexi, stronger than you know." "I learned from the best," Lexi said. She squeezed her mother's hand. At Oak Hill Elementary School, Maya sat in her 3rd grade classroom. Her teacher, Mrs. Patterson, was teaching math. During lunch, Maya sat with her sisters and their friends. A girl named Sophie asked Maya about the Boston University trip. "Did you really go to your mom's college reunion?" Sophie asked. "Yes," Maya said. "We wore the school colors. It was fun." "My mom said your mom is brave," Sophie said. She said she heard about what happened. What happened? Another friend asked. Maya looked at her sisters. Mia nodded. Madison stayed quiet. Morgan spoke up. Our mom told everyone the truth about our old dad, the one before our real dad. You have two dads? Sophie asked. No, Maya said. We have one dad, Marcus. He is our real dad. The other man was just married to our mom a long time ago, before we were born. The girls' friends asked more questions, but Maya, Mia, Madison, and Morgan did not say much else. Their mother taught them not to speak badly about people, even people who hurt them, so they just said their mom was brave and they were proud of her. In Boston, Amanda sat in Carmen's living room. It was Tuesday afternoon. She had been living with Carmen for 3 weeks. She was 7 months pregnant now. Her belly was bigger. Her feet were more swollen. She was tired all the time. Carmen came home from work. She was a nurse at Massachusetts General Hospital. She set her bag down and sat next to Amanda on the couch. Did Jared call again? Carmen asked. Yes, Amanda said. 3 times today. I did not answer. Good, Carmen said. You need space. You need to make your decision without him pressuring you. I already made my decision, Amanda said. She looked at her sister. I want a divorce. Carmen's eyes widened. Are you sure? Yes, Amanda said. I cannot trust him, Carmen. I cannot raise Charlotte with a man who lies and blames other people. I cannot let her grow up thinking that is what love looks like. What about custody? Carmen asked. I will let him see her, Amanda said. He is her father, but I will not stay married to him. I will not pretend everything is okay when it is not. Carmen hugged her sister. I am proud of you. This is hard, but you are doing the right thing. I am scared, Amanda admitted. I am scared to be a single mother. I am scared to raise her alone. You will not be alone, Carmen said. You have me. You have Rosa. You have Mom and Dad. We will all help you. You will be okay. Amanda nodded. Tears ran down her face, but she felt relief too. She made her decision. Now she just had to tell Jared. That same Tuesday afternoon, Jared sat in his boss's office. His boss's name was Michael Brennan. He owned the real estate firm where Jared worked. Michael was 50 years old with thin hair and a serious face. Jared, we need to talk, Michael said. He sat behind his desk with his hands folded. Jared sat across from him. He knew what was coming. I have been getting calls from clients, Michael said. They heard about what happened at your college reunion. They are asking questions. They are uncomfortable working with you. Jared said nothing. I also heard from 2 agents in this office, Michael continued. They said they do not want to work on teams with you anymore. They said they do not trust you. Michael, please, Jared said. It was one mistake, one bad night. I can fix this. Can you? Michael asked. Can you fix your reputation? Can you make people forget what you did? Jared looked down at his hands. I like you, Jared, Michael said. You are good at your job. You close deals. You make money for this firm. But I cannot have someone on my team who humiliates people publicly. I cannot have someone who lies about his ex-wife. It looks bad for the company. What are you saying? Jared asked. But he already knew. I am letting you go, Michael said. Effective immediately. I will give you 2 weeks severance, but I need you to clean out your desk today. Jared felt the room spin. He lost his job. He lost his income. He lost everything. I am sorry, Jared, Michael said. I really am. But this is what is best for the company. Jared stood up. He walked out of the office without saying anything. He went to his desk. He packed his things into a box, his pens, his files, his framed photo of Amanda. Other agents watched him. No one said goodbye. No one wished him luck. They just watched him leave. 2 days later, Jared sat in his apartment looking at his bank account. He did not have enough money to pay rent next month. Amanda was not coming back. She was not contributing to bills anymore. Jared made good money as a real estate agent, but he also spent a lot. Expensive clothes, expensive car, expensive apartment. Now he had no job, no income, no way to pay for his lifestyle. Jared looked at his black Mercedes parked in the garage. He loved that car. He bought it to impress people, to look successful. But now he needed money more than he needed a car. He listed the car for sale online. Within 3 days, someone bought it. Jared got $15,000. It was enough to cover rent for a few months, but not forever. He needed to move somewhere cheaper. Jared found a studio apartment in Alston. It was small. 1 room, a tiny kitchen, a bathroom, no parking spot. But it was cheap. He could afford it while he looked for a new job. He packed his things. He moved out of his Back Bay apartment. He moved into the studio. The new apartment was quiet. It was on the first floor of an old building. The walls were thin. He could hear his neighbors walking above him. The street outside was noisy, but it was all he could afford now. Jared's phone rang. It was his brother Kyle. Jared answered. "Hey," Kyle said. His voice was cold. "Hey," Jared said. "Dad told me you lost your job," Kyle said. "Yeah," Jared said. "Good," Kyle said. "You deserve it." Jared was silent. "I am disappointed in you, Jared," Kyle continued. "I always looked up to you. I thought you were successful. I thought you had it all figured out, but you do not. You are cruel. You are selfish. You hurt people to make yourself look good. And now you are paying for it." "Kyle, please," Jared started. "No," Kyle cut him off. "I do not want to hear excuses. I just wanted to tell you that Mom is heartbroken. Dad is ashamed. And I do not want to talk to you until you fix yourself. Until you become a better person." Kyle hung up. Jared put the phone down. He sat on the floor of his empty studio apartment. He had no furniture yet. Just boxes. Just emptiness. Just silence. In Providence, Lexi tucked her daughters into bed at 8:30 that night. She read them a story about 4 sisters who went on an adventure. The girls loved it. They asked her to read it again, but Lexi said it was bedtime. She kissed Maya's forehead. "Good night, sweetheart." She kissed Mia's forehead. "Sleep well, my love." She kissed Madison's forehead. "Sweet dreams, angel." She kissed Morgan's forehead. "I love you, baby." "We love you too, Mom," the girls said together. Lexi turned off the light. She left the door open a crack. She walked downstairs. Marcus was sitting on the couch waiting for her. He smiled when she came into the room. "Are they asleep?" Marcus asked. "Almost," Lexi said. She sat down next to him. He put his arm around her. "How are you feeling?" Marcus asked. "About everything? The reunion? Jared?" Lexi smiled. "I feel good. I feel free. I do not think about him anymore. I do not need his apology. I do not need anything from him. I have everything I need right here." Marcus kissed the top of her head. "You are amazing, you know that?" "I am happy," Lexi said. "I am exactly where I am supposed to be." Lexi walks downstairs to where Marcus is waiting, and as he pulls her into his arms, she knows that the life she built from the ashes of her pain is the greatest victory of all. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen.
This story, though painful to read, is a powerful testament to the enduring reality of racial profiling and the strength required to fight against systemic injustice. It leaves us with a profound message and a priceless lesson for future generations. The incident highlights a chilling truth. For Black families, the simple act of moving into a new home, a moment that should be filled with joy and hope, can instantly transform into a terrifying ordeal of humiliation and fear. It underscores that racial profiling is not confined to traffic stops or public spaces. It can breach the sanctity of one's own home, driven by assumptions based purely on the color of a person's skin. Marcus's firm stance, emphasizing that their identity as a colonel and a nurse who served their country did not shield them from being seen as criminals, delivers a clear message. Hard work and achievement do not guarantee safety or respect when racial bias is present. The life-altering risk Kesha faced, the fear that her false report could have gotten his wife killed, is a tragic reality for many Black Americans during police encounters. The raw strength Kesha found to return to the kitchen to finish making sandwiches, even with shaking hands, is an image of profound resilience. The ending with the block party is not just a happy moment. It's a victorious reclaiming of the space and a declaration that their family defines their own community, not the prejudice of one neighbor. It is a powerful narrative of justice, both legal and moral, prevailing, but one that underscores the immense emotional cost of the fight.